What's up, good folks? Solo. Um, give y'all some more rambling. I get used to being on camera still. Uh, I discovered that I like being on camera actually, uh, which is a huge surprise. Huge, huge surprise. Kind of bugging out about putting myself out there like that. Um, I'm sure it'll get easier for me, and I'll be able to speak more fluid when uh, when I get on the back on the medicine. I won't be stuttering so much and shit. Um, yeah, I've realized that I like seeing myself on camera, and that's weird. I didn't expect that. It was see filming myself added another dimension to the depersonalization and dissociation that my mind goes through on a frequent basis. Um, I got a tendency to stand outside myself and watch objectively, and that's the whole depersonalization, detachment thing. Like, and it comes along with dissociation because it'll affect my entire personality. I seem like a different person, many different people, but it's still me. It's not a full-on like personality split or anything. Excuse me. Uh, but yeah, by filming myself and seeing myself on camera, it's like standing outside myself, watching myself, watch myself, and that's like I said, it's a whole another dimension to it. It adds a bit of a twist, and the closest thing I could really describe it is having a mirror in front of you and a mirror behind you, and creating an infinite mirror effect. At a certain point, for me, I lose touch with reality a lot, and well, at least the construct of what we're presented as reality. I can't really call anything reality at this point. Um, especially, especially with the insomnia. It seems to be calming down. I seem to be yawning earlier at night, and hopefully I get back into a sleep routine. But 4 days, 4 days at a time being awake is just too much. And it's like that's where I start to lose touch, and that's like the watching myself on camera is like being between the mirrors. Like I said, like if there's infinite yous and infinite reflections of you, who's the you? What kind of life is that dude living beyond there? And I'm fully aware that it's just a mirror. And it's the same thing with the video. I see it much as a mirror, like I'm talking in a mirror. But there's also a mirror behind me, and it's bouncing, and I'm caught in between. If it makes any sense, creates a real strange existence. To be honest, my fucking life is bizarre. I live 98% of the time up right up here. I go places. I experience things. I zone out. I sit for hours, not make a sound, and just sit and think. That's all I really do. I sit and I think, and I read, write, draw. Of course, I like background music, whatever. But yeah, like putting myself on the camera is like opened up a different dimension for me. And I know a lot of people see dimensions as different destinations, like jumping back and forth in a quantum manner, like Doctor Who or something, some quantum leap. Y'all remember that show? Yeah. Well, it's not really like that. the way I speak about dimensions, I mean dimensions as sides, sides to a 360-degree shape, a full shape, and don't get me wrong. As far as perception goes, I'm not really talking about the whole existential dimension thing. As far as perception goes, like fifth, fourth dimensional perception and all that. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about like more like sides of the psyche, like a shattered psyche, and if you put it back together to where it fits, it's got a lot of sides to it, and that's more like what I mean when it comes to like dimensions as far as the personalization and dissociation. But like as far as like fifth dimensional, fourth dimensional perception and all that, that's like I probably shouldn't even get into that. Nah, I'm not even gonna get into that because that's I could sit here and ramble for hours about that, and no way I could really express all that shit in 15 minutes until I really get everything set up. I'm using the free YouTube thing, so it's limited to 15 minutes, which that's not bad because I'm just rambling. Who's got 15 minutes to stop and listen to some fucking guy talk about some nonsense, mirrors and shit? But yeah, I'm just messing with the videos still, and hopefully, hopefully this shit will take off in a fractal sense, like fractal expansion. I'd like for it to see it reach all over the place, like, excuse me. I would like to see people with their own doing their own thing, doing what I'm doing, even if it's rambling, but crisscrossing with each other, like um, weave a geometry and find common ground instead of like always butting heads. And don't get me wrong, if it's not for conflict, there's really no growth. So, and I tend to contradict myself a lot. Like my mind's been stretched every which way to such extremes that really what I think is like a giant gray area. But there's duality there too, because of the different hemispheres of the brain, and you know the whole bipolar thing, bounce back and forth, and being that the mind is like, or at least mine, I can't speak for anybody else, but it's a giant gray area, and there's the duality there. It provides a hell of a contrast, and it kind of goes toward the empathy thing of no matter who somebody is, where they're from, black, white, gay, straight, tall, short, fat, whatever. Um, I can relate to what they got to say. It don't matter what they say either. It's like considering their circumstances and where they're at, see how they might think that. No matter what it is, no matter what they think or what they do, I can see how somebody might do something crazy. Um, I don't always agree with the choice to do so or whatever. Of course not. But I can see how they might think that, and it don't matter who they are. I don't care what their faith is or whatever, any of that. I can relate. I see how they might think that, and to compare somebody to yourself automatically is just like that's not really fair to the next person. Well, I guess nothing's about being fair anyway. Fuck fair, but it's just not. Like by automatically comparing someone to yourself, you're automatically using yourself as a template of being normal. And come on, man, like ain't none of us normal. There's no such thing. Only normal people are psychos. We we live in a giant mental asylum where a small group of psychopaths decide what's normal. And if psychos are the ones deciding what's normal, we're all fucked. Basically, we're all crazy. It makes us all crazy. No matter how sane or lucid and understanding we are, nah, everybody got issues. I don't give a fuck who you are. So why not call it down the middle? Is all I'm saying. Like, why why lean too far either way? That's programming, man. That's like I'm supposed to think this. That's like somebody thinking, well, I want to find a religion, and I'm a white American, so obviously it's got to be Christianity. And I only use that as an example. I'm not picking on Christians or anything, although the interpretations of that book, some of y'all are scary with that shit, man. Like, I don't know. And that's just not that book, of course, man. Like, any holy book. Some of them interpretations and where people take that shit to is just wow. But I love religion, and I know my writing probably doesn't reflect that at all. Probably seems like I'm against religion the way it sounds when I write. I'm not against religion at all. I'm against the interpretations that use it for greed and self promotion. Excuse me, to gain power over another human being, in which I guess that religion's designed that way. In the first place, it preys on the hardest of emotions: guilt, love, jealousy, anger, fear. Fear, of course, that's a big one. But nah, I love religion though, so I'm not picking on nobody when it comes to that. It's just the whole thing's a giant gray area, and to lean any which way, it's like I don't know. To just react with a programmed response, that shows like a serious level of programming. I don't know how else to say that. Like that's like push button consciousness, man. And I discovered that a long time ago. I figured out triggers to certain people when I was younger. Like even if someone was happy, I could ruin their fucking day. I could make somebody walk around like a fucking drone and have them do my bidding and have them thinking it's their idea in the first place and that's the greatest idea ever. I used to be like that. I used to do that shit. And I see it on a mass scale, and that it's seriously disturbing. But I'm coming up on a time limit, so yeah, I've just rambled about nothing again, I guess. And I suppose I'll be seeing y'all again in the next video. I found two microphones and a Kenwood receiver, so I'm gonna get the studio set up here sometime this week. I'm gonna try to do a video outside the Blue nightclub, or Club Blue, where them 16 kids got shot out in the old neighborhood, man. That's my community I grew up in, and shit's kind of got me pissed off. That's another video. All right, stay blessed, y'all. One.